Lanka's JHU, a party of Buddhist monks who say that a full-out military offensive is the only way to end the conflict with the Tamil Tigers. But not all of Sri Lanka's Sinhalese majority shares the belief in a military solution. Peace activists and Buddhist monks who favour negotiations with the Tamil Tigers have come together to oppose the JHU. But last year, the army launched a campaign to drive the Liberation Tigers of Tamil Eelam, the LTTE, out of the east of the country. Now the Tigers are hitting back. At about 2 a.m. last night, the LTTE launched the first ever air attack on the city of Colombo. They used a light aircraft, which is a new development in the kind of weapons deployed by the LTTE. And ever since, the anti-aircraft guns, like the one behind me, are on full alert. Mavarale Badiatero is preparing a doctoral thesis on the meaning of war within Buddhism. So what do you think is the best way to deal with the LTTE?
I think not deal with LTT. We have deal with Tamil. No deal. Because they are coming with guns. They are coming with claymore bombs. Now they are coming by plane. No deal.
Over 3/4 of the Sri Lankan population are Buddhists. It's been practiced here for over 2,000 years. More a philosophy than a religion, Buddhism is growing in Sri Lanka, popular with young and old alike. In 2004, a group of Sinhalese Buddhist monks harnessed this popularity to form a political party.
The monks of the Heritage Party are using their numbers in Parliament to support the government's action against the Tamil Tigers.
They won 9 seats out of 250, yet they claim to speak for a larger constituency.
Today, JHU are actively supporting the government's military campaign against Tamil Tiger separatists.
We compelled to defeat Prabhakaran and solve the terrorist problem.
What is the appeal of the JHU to its voters?
Their appeal, I think, is based on 2 things. One is that they appeal to Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. They are the most articulate spokesperson for what one may call an extreme form of Sinhala Buddhist nationalism. Secondly, the Buddhist monks are associated in the public mind as symbols of moral purity.
But under British rule, the Hindu Tamil minority were favoured. After independence in 1948, nationalist monks demanded legislation to redress the balance.
What has Sri Lanka gained from this war? Only our tears. Whether it's a Tamil mother or a Sinhala mother, it's only tears we have gained. We cried for 20 years and we are not going to let this happen ever again. If anybody wants to start this war again, they will have to do it over our dead bodies.
To tell you very frankly, I place the responsibility on the JHU for what is happening right now in this country.
After her son disappeared, Visakha started a campaign for the recovery of dead and missing soldiers. She's reached across the front line to form an alliance with the Hindu mothers of missing Tamil fighters. Appalled by the renewed hostilities, she has joined the anti-war front, in which she has found many pacifist monks. In 1959, Bandaranaike opened talks with the Tamils in order to ease the tense situation between the 2 ethnic groups. Shortly afterwards, he was shot dead by an assassin right here at his residency.
In my spiritual practice, it is depend on kindness to safeguard the people, for the favour for the majority people.
They support the destruction of the Tamil Tigers and the government's military solution to end the civil war. But are the Heritage Party monks giving Sri Lankan Buddhists a bad name? Some monks are quietly outraged at their colleagues' stance.
This is like a sick man's wound. We should not make it a bigger wound. We should realize the loss we have and bring an intelligent solution to this problem through dialogue.
For the Sinhalese, Buddhism forms the core of their national identity. They are especially proud of the fact that the religion has flourished for over 2,000 years in Sri Lanka.
Part of the whole mythology of the origins of the Sinhalese race and the Sinhalese civilization is that, when the Buddha at his deathbed more or less consecrated this little island because its doctrine would be thrown out of India, where the Buddhism was born, but it will ultimately be preserved in Sri Lanka. So the Buddhist monks have this self-understanding that they are the guardians of the Sinhalese nation, which in turn is the guardian of Buddhism.
The Temple of the Tooth in the town of Kandy is the heart of Sri Lankan Buddhism. It holds the country's most sacred relic, a tooth of the Buddha. Ever since the Sinhalese kings held court here, control of the tooth gave the right to rule the country. To this day, it is a tradition which makes the monks politically powerful.
The core of Buddhism is non-violence. It doesn't approve the killing of even the lowliest creature. So what we see in Buddhist teaching is the way to avoid war.
What role does Buddhism play in your work?
Maybe it is the Buddhism that plays the main role of what we call, hatred, beget hatred, that nahi verena verani. That's if I am also really angry and if I thought that, okay, if my son is dead, let 100 LTT die. Am I going to end up? Then that 100 will be thinking that 1,000 Sinhalese should die.
The temple's position at the core of Sinhalese culture has made it a target for the Tamil tigers. What are the dogs doing?
Yeah, they are searching the bombs.
In 1998, tiger suicide bombers drove a truck filled with explosives into the temple walls and killed 13 people. Misaka Kalamasiri is in full support of President Rajapaksa's renewed military campaign against the tigers.
We don't like to kill. We don't want to see our dead body of the people. But the terrorism is here. That's the trouble.
It's very important for the Sri Lankan government to be seen to be endorsed by the Buddhist clergy. When President Rajapaksa started his term in office, he went over there to the Temple of the Tooth to receive the blessing of the head monk.
The people who are against the National Anti-War Front are a group that seems stronger than it is, thanks to the support of certain media and in some cases government backing.
Do you think the Tamils who are behind this war are actually trying to destroy the Sinhala community on this island?
They will destroy not only the Sinhala race, but the whole of our historic civilization. And they will set up a Tamil state which leads up to southern India.
It proves one thing, that LTT can be militarily defeated without having any negotiations or so-called constitutional reform.
But not all Sinhalese Buddhists share the JHU's faith in a military solution.
I don't believe at all that not only in Sri Lanka, anywhere, war is the answer, because wars never, you don't have a winner in a war. Simple as that.
Visakha speaks from experience. 9 years ago, the army told her that her son had gone missing in action. She still hopes he will return.
His chocolates is still in the fridge. Still here in this.
How long have you kept them?
From 98.
Since he's gone missing?
Yeah. For me, why also I'm keeping all these things? If he comes, I don't want for him to think for a moment that you thought that I'm dead. If a person is dead, you know that you mourn, you grieve, you mourn, and then you come to terms with the loss, and then you start life. But when a person is missing, you wait for the person's return. Now, that is the biggest problem. And normally people say the time heals. But in a situation of missing, the time don't heal. It really aggravates.
In 2003, Visakha and other parents were allowed into LTTE territory to visit the battlefield where their sons were killed or went missing.
As there is a peace process taking place today, we actually wanted to come and see the place where our beloved children lie, and to take home a handful of that soil.
What they came across was the remains of 500 soldiers. They accused the military of burning the bodies to obscure the death toll. The government organized the funeral but didn't respond to the charges.
Everybody is connected to this war, They have lost somebody close to their hearts. My younger brother was in the military. He joined when he was 18 and he rose to the rank of lieutenant when he was 21. So he was killed in action in the north.
Narendra Gunatilaka has lost many friends to the war. 5 were killed in one of the Tiger's most notorious suicide attacks.
The train which was coming from Colombo stopped here, and it happened as the train stopped. The bomb went off, and over 70 odd died and about 700 injured.
This seems to be a war where nobody is winning, and it just goes on and on.
We believe that if a correct approach is taken, only a 6 months period is needed to crush this military movement.